Good evening, everyone. I'm Shannon Rutherford, the town planner for Farmington. This is the Plan and Zoning Commission meeting. We will start with roll call of the members. Robert Canto,
Here.
Scott Halstead,
Here.
David St. Germain,
Here.
Liz Sanford,
Here.
Bruce Polsky,
Here.
Mike Tucci. Maybe. What I saw, hang on. Mike Tucci's. All right, we're gonna say his audio dropped for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we'll note him as absent for right now. Peter Zarella, I'll note for the record is absent. Mike Coster.
Here.
Okay, I think I've got everybody, and then I'll note for the record that Matthew Bandel has resigned, so we will be functioning as a 5-member commission. So we've got, even with that, then we've got Peter Zarella's absent.
Yep. Okay. Thanks, Shannon. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the October 6th Town Plan and Zoning Commission meeting. Housekeeping that Shannon just mentioned, with Peter Zarella being out, I'd like to ask Commissioner Coster to fill in as a voting member tonight. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Why don't we go straight to legal notice, Liz?
Okay. So notice is hereby given that the Town Plan and Zoning Commission will hold a hybrid in-person and online hearing on October 6, 2025 at 7 p.m. in the Town Hall Council Chambers on the following applications. Elizabeth Moravicek, application for special permit and site plan approval for 720 square foot attached accessory dwelling unit at 35 Penfield Place in an R30 zone. Jack Kemper, application for special permit and site plan approval for new 1,092 square foot 4-car garage and special permit for the consideration for the protection of historic factors at 37 Mountain Spring Road in an R80 zone. David Olenowski, application for home expansion in excess of 2,400 square foot of living area and 3,200 square foot of total area at 30 Robin Road in an R20 zone. Interested parties are encouraged to participate in this hybrid public hearing. Participation in person is at 1 Monteith Drive, Town Hall, Town Council Chambers, or online participation is via the link to the meeting on the Town of Farmington's website. A copy of this proposal is online or is available online or by calling the planning at Farmington Town Hall. Dated at Farmington, Connecticut, this 18th day of September, 2025, Town Plan and Zoning Commission.
Thank you very much, Liz. All right, we'll jump right into new business. We have just a couple applications to accept tonight. So can we get a motion and a second for item number 1, William Clark, please?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion to accept the application for special permit and site plan approval made by William Clark for the construction of a 22 by 30 or 660 square foot 2-car detached garage with a 355 square foot loft in accordance with Article 4, Section 30, expanded home at 14 Mountain Road in an R20 zone, and schedule a public hearing with the recommended hearing date of Wednesday, November 12th, 2025.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. And then we have Stanislaw Lipinski.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the application for special permit approval made by Stanislaw Lipinski for 18 chickens in a 9 by 5 chicken coop at 1055 New Britain Avenue in an R20 zone, and schedule that public hearing with a recommended hearing date of Wednesday, November 12th, 2025.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Thanks, everybody. All right, we'll jump right into our public hearings now. We have 3 tonight. Just a little guide to how these work. We'll ask the applicants to present the application. The commission will then ask questions. We'll go down the line, ask questions. We'll then open it up to the public. First, anybody in the room that wishes to speak, and then anybody online. We do ask, just as a general rule, we try to keep those comments to 5 minutes or less, just for the convenience of everybody that's in the room. So we appreciate the public comment when folks are here. So thank you for that in advance. But with that being said, we'll jump right into public hearing number 1 with this, which is Elizabeth Morova. I can't even say it.
Moravicek.
Thank you. Come on up. Yeah.
Yeah, to the podium. Yeah, to the podium, please.
Thank you for working with us tonight. This is Mike Moravicek, my husband. I'm Beth Moravicek. We reside at 35 Penfield Place. We are proposing to add an addition onto our home. It's an attached accessory dwelling unit. The space, as seen there, has a great room. It has a bathroom, a walk-in closet. It has a deck. It has a laundry room that's going to be moved from a different part of our house into that area. Currently is a closet in our kitchen, so we're moving that into that space as well. The purpose of the ADU is a residential option for Mike's mother. Just with age and life changes and stuff, we'd like her to be more present in our lives and live with us full time. So the unit is going to be for full-time residents for a family member. It's we have no intentions of renting it out at this time or anything. We're just looking to add a first floor option for her because we do not have a first floor bathroom or bedroom for her at this time. And with that, we've made some other small changes like the laundry room and a storage closet for her because she's downsizing from a significantly larger home to a space that we're trying to make her comfortable with. So we added that storage closet as well. And then on the second floor above the ADU, there's a bonus space / office, which is accessible through our master bedroom. And that's, going to be like space for I work as well as a deck that would be like above her deck as well. So that's the proposal.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your presentation. Let me turn it over to commissioners, see if they have any questions.
Okay.
Paul?
No questions. I mean, it fits the definition, made it ADU perfectly, so. Good job.
Liz?
The one question, so there is going to be a second story deck too. I just wasn't sure on. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
In one of those,
there's
there's the side view, and I think there's one more maybe that has, there it is. Yep.
okay. Excuse me. No, that's great. So is the main entrance going to be through your house or are you going to use the back? I'm
Yes.
Just curious.
So there's that slider or some sort of, outdoor accessibility, but she will enter through either our front door or our garage. We haven't decided who gets what garage spot yet, but yes, she already has keys. She has full access to our house currently, but there is an outdoor, or that door that does lead to the outside.
Okay.
But her primary entrance would be through the main part of the home.
Okay, that's wonderful. Yes, it fits the definition of an ADU to a T. So that's it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Dave?
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks for presenting. I have a question about any exterior lights that you'll be adding on.
We haven't gotten into any specifics with that. I think for our current deck has just one really dim light. So I think we're just used to having that. So I think that's kind of all we're expecting is just a light, just that faces the deck and gives some, I guess.
And nothing towards the street.
Nothing toward-
Nothing towards the
no.
street, just maybe the one in the back.
Yeah.
Or is it, also, I don't know how close your neighbors are to that too.
I mean, our yards fortunately are pretty large and we do meet the setback, which is 15 feet, I believe. And then there's a couple of extra feet built in one of the, our house's faces kind of on a diagonal. So the back edge of the house is about 2 feet further from our neighbor's property than the front corner of the home. So the back, it's 15 feet plus, the width of the ADU. And so I would say the light would go near the slider. But I don't think we have a specific measurement yet on where exactly it would be.
And those arborvitaes, the trees are the neighbor's trees that are on kind of his property line there that really separate off that part of the house from within the property.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So that's nice. We have like a natural fence, which is nice. Yeah.
And I have one question actually for you, Shannon. It says something about exceeding the as of right area by 20 square feet.
Mhm.
I'm not sure I know what that means.
So in our ADU regulation, single ADU, single bedroom ADU up to 700 square feet was permitted as of right with just a registration with our office. It wouldn't have had to come before you based on the regulation. So it's 720 square feet. So that's the public hearing. And
Oh, so we cut that 20 so we wouldn't be here.
We tried
Well-
to shave it off. It wouldn't work. Yeah, we tried.
Yeah, the way it was explained to us is
Yeah.
that
Needed that
concrete
laundry room,
forms
didn't
come
you?
in certain sizes and shapes, and so
Right.
in order to, we would have to take a significant amount off for it to meet the next lowest form, I guess.
Gotcha.
So.
And to make it fit with like the way the existing window that we're gonna turn into
Yeah.
a doorway is, we would have to like shift the rooms enough that it would have been very awkward to do that. So, yeah, we want to-
All right, no other questions. Thanks.
I'm good. I have no questions at this point. Thank you.
Are you guys septic or sewer?
Septic, yeah,
Septic, and it's all, I think it said on here, you had to submit to
yes,
Valley
the
Health
Farmington
District
Valley
to
Health
make sure
District,
that
yep.
you can have an extra bedroom, extra shower, extra.
Yeah, we went through that process with the town and everything. They've been wonderful guiding us through everything, and all of that has been, is it all in here?
so it will, and I'll be honest, because there's the pool too. So the pool would have required Farmington Valley Health District sign off as well. So, but
Mhm.
when it comes through our building permit process,
Yeah.
Farmington Valley Health actually has a sign off. So they have access to our building permit system. So when it steps through, it won't get to the building official. They won't get a shovel in the ground until Farmington Valley Health signs off.
Cool.
So
So
they'll
and-
take a look at all of that and make sure that the system's sized appropriately to accommodate the additional bedroom.
Perfect.
And I did go in person previous to all this to make sure, because we did recently install a pool, and we were talking about, the ADU is the priority. The pool is wonderful, but it's not, the more important piece. So we said, is one gonna mess the other one up? And so they explained the whole process, and they said, no, they're totally separate and they're both allowable, and they explained it. So it should be rolling or in there somewhere.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have
Okay.
any questions, I think.
Mr. Chair, Mike Tucci has
Oh, Mike's
joined,
back. Okay,
I
yeah.
think.
Mike,
See
any
how his
questions?
Audio.
Thanks, Shannon.
Hey there, can you hear me?
Yes, there we go.
Okay, yeah, great presentation. No questions from me.
And I think I'm good too. So, any questions, anything else come up for any commissioners?
Just in the notes about the roof leaders drainage. Yeah. Not really a question, but just making sure you follow what the town's gonna recommend with that. Making sure
Yes,
you-
we do have a contract that with a local builder. He's actually from Farmington. And he does include information about roofing, siding, decks, gutters. And it says be tied into existing drainage or any new underground drainage water retention required by town in addition. So so we do have a working contract with somebody, and he knows he has to meet with the town's guidelines and everything. So
Thanks.
Anything else, commissioners?
Okay.
So this is a public hearing. If you want to grab a seat, we'll check in with the public and
Okay.
see if there's anybody in the room that would like to speak for or in opposition to this application. Come on up to the podium. More opportunity for folks in the room. Shannon, you check online.
Okay, if anyone's called in to offer comment regarding the application for 35 Penfield Place, please raise your hand in the feature, using the feature in Zoom, and you'll be acknowledged to address the commission. Again, if anyone's called in for the application, the hearing for 35 Penfield Place, please raise your hand using the feature in Zoom. You'll be acknowledged to address the commission. Mr. Chair, there are no hands raised.
One more check. Any questions, commissioners, for the applicants? Okay to close the hearing? Seems like. All right, I'm going to close the public hearing. Can we get a motion in a second, please?
Sure. Do we need to add in any of the thing about the three things mentioned?
No, I think if we
Just as
say
presented.
as presented, then
As presented.
that's fine. I think we'll be set. It
Mhm.
covers the three items in the agenda review.
Okay. Now we're moving to accept the application,
Approve.
Approve.
approve the application. Okay. I move that we approve the application for a special permit made by Elizabeth Moravicek for the special permit and site plan approval for 720 square foot attached accessory dwelling unit at 35 Penfield Place in an R30 zone.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? I get the sense everybody's kind of on the same page. One check.
Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Best of luck to you.
Good luck.
All right, item number 2, public hearing number 2, David Olenowski.
Hi, how you doing? This is David Olenowski. Thank you for considering this application. I'm representing the homeowners, Thomas Tenney and Laura Raffi. And unfortunately, Laura Raffi is now wheelchair bound. So this addition that we're requesting to put on 1,125 square feet is basically expansive sunroom or family room, and then a bedroom and a bathroom that are both, basically designed to accommodate her needs, being wheelchair bound. That's really all there is to it. I guess apparently because we're trying to make the rooms much bigger than what would normally be, necessary. But again, it's for that very reason. And I guess by having that area that large, it exceeds the you call it the expansion by right. So it exceeded the amount, and that's why we're applying for the special permit.
Okay, thank you. Let me turn it over to the commissioners for questions. Bob, any questions?
No, I'm all set for right now.
Liz?
I looked at this earlier on Saturday and I forgot. Is there a separate exterior entrance or is it only through the house?
So
That's right.
the exterior wall of the kitchen will basically be opened up completely. So the entrance is entirely through the kitchens. The kitchen will become a combination kitchen / family room area. So the entrance is all through the existing main house.
Okay, that makes, now I remember. Yes, because it's the bedroom in the back. Okay, I think that was my one question. Thank you.
Dave?
Yeah, I was looking at this too, and wondering, there's that jog on the plan there. How is there a purpose for that?
Yes. So the existing kitchen ends at that, basically it's 22 feet from the end of the house to where the kitchen ends. So to go beyond that, they would have to change a large window that's in the current dining room. So they'd rather just stay with the lines of that kitchen. And then because the bedroom, again, this is all a matter of accommodating the So on the plans, I think you might have seen where I wrote recliner area in the master bedroom. That's really set up so that she can be in that area to sleep. So they needed the 25-foot width for the bedroom and bathroom, but they didn't need it for the family room. So that's why there's a jog there.
Yeah, just gonna ask.
No other questions. Thanks.
Bruce?
Mr. Oleneski, have you had any conversations with the neighbors either at 28 or 32? Because they're going to be, especially, was it 28 who's going to be closest to this one?
28 is on the northern border. Yes. Yeah. So they actually have a big addition off the back of their house. I thought that was interesting. But they don't speak English that well. But we have had conversations with, I guess it's their son and daughter or daughter. Yeah, they haven't expressed any problem with it. So on that northern border, the addition is going to follow the line of the house, so it won't encroach anymore at all on the setback at all. But otherwise, I personally haven't had conversations with them. The homeowner, actually the father of Laura Raffi, he has said that they were okay with it. But other than that, I really don't have any other knowledge of any conversations.
Okay. Thank you. That's it for me.
Mike?
I mean, just looking at their surrounding homes, they're all right around the size of the home that he's looking to build. And you're basically building an addition just like your neighbor's addition, correct?
Yeah,
I'm
theirs
looking at
is 2 stories. I'm sorry. Theirs is 2 stories. This one is just 1 story.
Okay. I don't really have any questions. No.
Okay.
No.
Thanks, Mike. Mike Tucci? Questions?
No questions from me.
Is this a 1-story house currently?
Yes.
So it's going to be consistent. Okay.
Yes,
And
the
31 is
the roof line will follow the existing roof line for and the same type of roof, hip roof.
Actually, I do have a follow-up question.
Sure.
if you don't mind. So neighbor's house there, just looking at the aerial, the addition is a 2-story addition. So is your addition going to be much, much larger since it's a 1-story addition? Is your house is going to be around 25 or 250 square feet larger than 28 Robin Road? Total. I can't, like how? I don't know.
28 Robin Road. I'm sorry, 28 Robin Road. I see a square footage living area of 2564.
Yep.
And ours would end up being like 28 something. So I don't know that would be considered extensively larger. 31 Robin Road across the street is 2792 square feet of living area, just shy of what ours would be. I know the size, because it's 1 story. It's really just because we're trying to accommodate. Everything is expanded to make it easier for her to maneuver through the rooms.
Yeah, I totally understand the purpose of the single story, but I know when you're building a single story and you're increasing the square footage, the actual footprint is twice as much as a 2-story.
So Commissioner Coster, so the length is 48 feet from the existing home, rear of the existing home back to the new edge is 48 feet in total length back. And as we just discussed, this is 25 feet at its widest point. So when I go back to the aerial image, this distance that I just dropped on here is, of course, the aerial is going to disappear when I zoom in. That's 42 feet,
Okay, that's all I was
So
looking
it's
for. So it's
within-
very similar.
6
Yeah,
feet, and then
Yep.
the width, I can do a quick check of the width, but it's probably very similar. It's maybe 20 feet. If it's not the 25,
No,
again,
I-
that's
it's
going eve to
4 or
eve.
5 feet more is no
20,
big
yeah,
deal.
it's 20 feet. So it's
Yeah, twice the
commensurate
footage is
with
big
the
deal.
same. Very similar. So if you imagine that footprint sliding down, it's a smidge, it's about 5 feet wider and 5 feet longer.
Cool, I'm good. Thank you.
There were a series of items to consider, Mr. Linaski, in the agenda review. I don't know if you saw those
Yes,
and let us, any of those, are you good with what's listed there?
yes. Yeah, well, of course, I'm going to do whatever you feel is necessary. I was a little surprised that you need a surveyor because for the sewer easement, because the sewer easement goes right along the property line. And I think the easement is, if I'm not mistaken, it's like you can't be within 10 feet of that easement, and the setbacks are really, I believe that side is 17 feet, something like that. And I'm not questioning that what, if you say they need it, that's fine, but I'm trying to keep their costs down, that's all.
Yep.
But everything else, yeah, the runoff and for the drainage and the erosion control. As far as a tracking pad, I mean, we're really going to be just going along the side of the house on the property, and then onto the driveway to go from the front to the back. So I guess we could put like a tracking pad along. I can put some, large stone to, before they get onto the driveway. But other than that, I don't know that I can do much of a tracking pad.
Yes, that's what would be expected, and we can do that as part of a pre-construction meeting at the staff level. So when the building permit comes through,
Yep.
there's a pre-construction requirement. So as long as it's agreed to, then we'll tag it on with the building permit, and staff will follow through on both of those measures to make sure that we can get some infiltration in the erosion control. We can work with them on the sanitary sewer. We just want to make sure that there's not. You can see, so I've put the sanitary sewer line up on the plan. It's the brown line. So it doesn't run exactly parallel to
Yeah.
the property line. So our concern is it's 10 feet to either side of the property line is the easement area. So we may actually have to kick the building or narrow it or something. So we are going to have that staked to make sure that there isn't an encroachment into the easement area because it does not run parallel to the property line.
Thanks, Shannon.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. If it's necessary, it's, yeah, I get, no problem.
Yeah, I was asking about those, Mr. Linaski, to make sure you were aware of them more. than
Yes,
anything
yes,
else.
I am. Yeah, Shannon did a good job of laying everything
Okay.
out for me.
Great. I don't think I have any other questions. Anybody else? Good. All right, this is a public hearing. If there's anybody in the room that would like to speak for an opposition to this application, come on up to the podium. Shannon, anybody online?
Okay, if anyone has called in online to offer comment regarding the application for 30 Robin Road, please raise your hand using the feature in Zoom and you'll be acknowledged to address the commission. Again, if anyone's called in to offer comment for the application for 30 Robin Road, please raise your hand using the feature in Zoom. You'll be acknowledged to address the commission. Mr. Chair, there's no hands
Okay.
raised.
Thank you, Shannon. Any other questions? One more check. Good. We're good. Good. All right, why don't we close this public hearing as well? And have a motion in a second, please.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the application for home expansion made by Dave Olenowski for home expansion excess of 2,400 square foot living area and 3,200 square feet of total area at 30 Robin Road in an R20 zone.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Get a sense that we're kind of on the same page as well. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Good luck, Mr. Olenowski.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, our last public hearing is Jack Kemper.
Good evening, Jack Kemper, Kemper Associates in Farmington. We're here to look at a new garage to replace a historic garage that is falling down. And then we also would like to have the barn rebuilt. So we've talked to somebody out of Massachusetts that will rebuild it in a historic manner. So you see my site plan there based on the survey. We're within all the setbacks. I did the calculations for the area of accessory buildings and stuff. We're starting with a like a 7,400 square foot house, so we have some room to maneuver. The house was built in 1763. We're working on a very thorough restoration of it right now, and as part of this, as we're wrapping up, we'd like to just build a new garage. Shannon, if you want to go to the pictures of what's there now,
The photos certainly, yeah. Here we go.
that's the barn. And the garage, you can sort of see to the left is attached to the barn. And one of the reasons we want to move it is we think it's a better location. It allows the barn to be restored more easily, not very easily, but more easily. That's the condition of the present garage. So, and that's the back of the barn facing the driveway for the house behind them. And that's more pictures of the barn. So what we're really looking at is rebuilding this in the most historic manner possible. So we're looking to relocate the barn, or excuse me, the barn stays where it is. We're looking to relocate the garage to use it as kind of a screen to the house behind there. So I've turned it as an L. It was in it, you can see it dotted in where the X, that's where it was. We're looking to relocate it. It's still out of the view shed of the main house. So that's good. We're looking to, there's a stone wall there that's kind of falling apart. So we're looking to sort of incorporate or go over that. I freaked out last night, Shannon, because I thought, because the grades, I thought,
That's a good catch.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
afraid we would go over the height. So if you see the construction drawing, the first one,
This one?
yeah.
Yeah. So this
On
is
the
the
back, we
updated one
figured
you
the
sent this
grades at
morning.
all four corners, and we're 3 inches below the 15-foot limit. So
Yeah.
so
Well done.
yeah.
Thank goodness for
But
evidence.
yeah, no kidding. So that's good. And also it's not as far as out of the ground as it looked like when we put the actual grades on there. That's the design of the barn, very low key, or the house. I keep saying barn, but it's a garage. And we're really trying to sort of keep the style of it, do barn sash windows, garage windows, make it very simple. It's a little bit bigger for more modern cars. There are bigger doors than it had. It's slightly taller, but it's got the same roof pitch. So that's it. So it's, I think, 45'6" long and 22 feet deep. I think 22. Oh, I have.
Yeah, let's see here.
Um,
24. Well, the inside dimension is probably 22. The out.
no, 24
The
on the
out
outside
to out is 24
and by 45.
by 45 and a half.
Yeah.
Are the out.
So it's a little bit larger. I think a accessory building could be up to 700 square feet. So it's a little larger, but we're well below the percentage of the main house, even with everything, all the other buildings and the barn. So just want to do that. The barn, we've talked to people out of Massachusetts. What they do is they they take it apart, save everything good, label it, and put it together. If there's new pieces needed, they put it together in the same way with the same kind of joints and mortises and tendons and axe cuts, all these things, all these terms they were throwing around. But I thought this was very good that they use new wood. They don't try and use old wood. So they want it to be clear what's new and what's old, but it's all done in the consistent way. So that's our presentation.
All right, thank you very much. Let me see if commissioners have questions. Bob?
So we're demoing the barn or dismantling the barn?
Dismantling the barn and putting it back in the same place.
Same place. Okay. And then the
Uh,
garage portion is getting separated and.
You're right. The
relocated.
garage will be relocated.
Okay. Wow, that's quite the project. Are you gonna have power to the garage?
I would assume so, yes.
Yeah.
Just so you can have push button doors.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you looked at the Historic Society and talked to
Yep.
them about all this good stuff?
Yep. Yep.
All right. Well, God bless you and good luck.
Thank you.
No, it's quite an undertaking. It's great. Are you going to just landscape the location of the old?
I
garage,
just
or
say generic landscaping, I think,
Okay.
planting.
That's fine. Didn't, plantings are fine. It's
Yeah,
not gonna
yeah.
be any
I didn't specify which kind.
patio or. any
Yeah.
sort of-
No. It's, that's the intention now.
Okay. Um,
It's all a crushed stone drive now, and we look to keep that, by the way.
That's great. No, I am thrilled that you're gonna be able to work to save the barn. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the garage is still standing, but
Yeah,
it's okay.
just barely. Well, the back of the barn, when we looked in the barn, because when we were all over there, we were gonna go in the barn, and then you look, say, no. No.
From outside,
Yeah.
the ivy might be the
Yeah.
only thing holding you up.
Yeah, and we've worked with the people from Massachusetts on another barn in Simsbury, and they've been very happy with the result.
Great. I'm glad we're able to
Yeah,
hopefully
thanks.
save that piece of history. Thank you.
I was confused by something you said about the barn and new wood and versus old wood.
Well, they save the posts and beams, but if something is rotten, they
Oh.
don't use old wood, they use new wood. So they just don't want to, he said, the way he mentioned it, he wanted to be clear what was old and new, but it's all done in the historic manner.
So
That-
the posts and beams stay, but
There might be a beam or whatever that can't be reused.
Right.
And so if there is a new one, they use new wood.
so taking it down in that spot and they're going to build it right in that same spot.
Correct.
Same foundation and everything?
Yep.
There's no change to the foundation?
Nope.
Well, we discussed if needed, then they'll pour a new wall on the inside so that, because it's a stone foundation. And it has been reinforced. I don't know if it's going to show in these pictures, probably not, but it has been, there are portions of it that have been reinforced. But they did talk about if needed, that they'll pour a wall just inside the existing stone foundation and try and leave that stone foundation facade.
Mhm.
But if they need to, from a structural standpoint, so there's, in addition to the contractor, there's a structural engineer
Yep.
that's on board that will do an analysis to help determine, I mean, obviously if a beam or column is rotted, at some point it becomes self-evident. But the structural engineer will be working with the contractor to make sure that this is,
Gonna stay
that
that.
structural integrity
Right.
is there as well as the historic integrity. So both are being married together.
How old is the barn? Do we know? Is it?
The house was 1763, Lisa, mid to late 18th century.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And then so you're taking the garage off, you're moving it, and it's like there's 4 stalls in the garage.
Yeah, the old one was 4 stalls also, but
But just a
these are
little bit
4
larger to.
yeah, these are
SUV size stuff.
Right. And then what happens with the foundation of that garage?
We would just take it out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much is there. Frankly, that might be easier
Just to
done
fill
than
it. It's
said.
probably just gonna be filled in. There's not,
Be interesting if you find anything underneath. Oh. Yeah, no further questions. Thank you.
Bruce?
Mr. Kemper, thank you for your presentation. I guess we're like a little dazzled that properties do not get any more historic
Yeah.
than this one, a Revolutionary War heroes. I think I have to amend my questions because I think you're doing all of the things that, I would have hoped you would be doing. With respect to the stone wall, it looks like we're gonna lose a chunk of it.
Yeah,
Because that's where the new garage is
correct,
going. And
correct.
did you say you're gonna replace it in other areas or fix
I
it?
will save the stone. I don't know that we'll replace that's to be determined, but we're not gonna throw it away.
How tall is it, the stone wall? Is
I
it-
think it's like,
it varies.
yeah,
Yeah.
like 2 feet to 4 feet or something.
Yeah, it does. So you can see it varies and a good portion of it is crumbling or very intertwined with vines. So this back portion is crumbling and it may be able to be rebuilt with some of the stones from where the garage is going, but you can see it varies. So it's at grade, it's like a foot or two here and it's roughly 4 to 5 feet in this corner.
Okay.
So it slopes. So because you come up around and you're at grade here, all of these buildings have an at grade entrance. So this is elevation 266 and this is 260 coming in down here, 262. They're 2-foot contours. It's 2, 4, 6, 8. I think they're 2 foots. No, sorry. I apologize. They're 1-foot
Yeah,
contours. They're 1-foot contours.
Got it. So when you positioned the new garage, what were some of the factors that made you put it in that particular location? So,
One was there's a house right behind there.
Mhm.
It's pretty well landscaped, but we thought this would be a good, another layer of visual protection between this house and the house behind. It also just made a little more sense for the turnaround and separating it a little bit from the barn for the construction, whatever happens with that.
got it. With respect to the demolition of the garage itself, the garage and the barn look like they're similar vintages, or is the garage newer? It is newer. So the timbers in it are, I was wondering if when you did the demolition for the garage, could you give consideration to like repurposing some of those timbers for the barn, or was that part of the thought process? Or are they,
Frankly, it looks so bad. No, but we could.
because that old barn wood is highly prized, people like using it for floorings and
Oh,
things
yeah.
like that. So I think there are companies that recycle and look to preserve that. So I was just wondering if you would give
We certainly could.
consideration to that,
Yeah,
if you're doing that. At that time, although there may not be that much.
Yeah,
given
that's-
that there's no doors.
that
and
was
it's
kind
only
of-
one good side and
Yeah, really.
and all that and
It's
and
mostly
what's going.
door.
Can you find a couple pieces there, Bruce?
Yeah, can I come by and grab a couple?
Yeah.
pieces?
Feel free. Well, now we have
might
to
have
do these
some
brace
clapboards,
walls and
that's it.
stuff, so we need more space between the garage doors. I mean, I guess that's a good lesson on what happens when you don't. Of course, it lasted like several hundred years, so really, it's probably okay.
All right, I think that's it for me, for questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Bruce.
Appreciate that you're doing all you're doing.
Thank you.
I think you already answered this, but you said you're building the garage, you're moving the garage, but building it the same way you're rebuilding the barn. So they'll look very similar.
Well, there's a design for the garage.
Yeah.
So we have drawings. It is a little bit different, just larger. So that's what we're planning to build, which is not exactly, but it's very similar, just with new sizes.
The garage is gonna be built modern though,
Yes,
like it won't be post.
no,
It's gonna be a modern build. though.
correct.
Yeah, okay. That's the only question I had. I look forward to seeing it done.
Thanks, Mike.
Bring pictures back when it's done.
Mike Tucci, any questions?
Great presentation. My only question is, a lot of them have been asked already. The materials that you are unable to be used, are they going to be taken off site? The waste materials, like the lumber and such? Or you plan on leaving them in a pile in the yard somewhere?
Oh, we were planning on leaving them in a pile, but I think, yeah, it generally goes off-site, and there might be some, I don't know if they've done an environmental check there yet or not, but the paint and stuff.
Yeah,
would
that
be
was
part of
my
the buil-
thinking of if there was leach in the ground or not.
I
Yeah.
would suspect there is lead paint.
Yeah, that's all done as part of the building permit review. So as part of the demo, any of those utility disconnects or if an environmental report is needed, then that's done as part of the building permit.
Okay, great. Thank you. No further questions.
Thanks, Mike. Shane, can you go back to GIS,
Of course I will.
please? I appreciate you beating us to it every time tonight, too.
Right.
No, I just,
Yeah,
I
she's really good at that.
was back
She's
and
very
forth.
good at it. It's like scary. It's
Yeah,
scary.
sometimes, it's really funny though when I'm not, and I can't figure out which,
You
which,
always seem
I
to
can't,
know how to zoom right into
I
it.
can't figure out which
20
corner
minutes
of the
to find.
town I need to be in, and that's very funny, but anyhow.
So where's the garage now? Where's all this now? Where's the garage moving to? Just for my
Okay,
visual.
so here's 37, the main house,
Yep.
the driveway. The garage is actually here. You can't,
Oh, you
see-
can't
if I
see it.
zoom
Okay.
in, you're not, there's a tree at the top, and then this is the barn.
Okay,
And then this is the turnaround area that shows in some of the photos.
Yep.
So it's all here. I can try one of the other aerials to see.
and the
It
garage is
shows up a
still-
little bit better
there
there.
we go, yep.
So it's the same, it's just a later aerial with just different angle. So garage,
Yep.
this is the cottage that showed on the survey. So cottage, garage, barn, and I'll pop back to the survey, right? Cottage, garage being removed, barn, and the
Okay,
relocation.
got it.
And then Jack made reference, this is actually the second driveway to come to the lot that's behind.
Yeah.
And that's this here, that's this driveway coming all the way
Yep.
down to this home behind.
Got it.
So with the garage positioned basically here, so these trees, we looked at, there are a couple of
couple
these
trees coming
large
down.
trees are gonna stay, but these trees right in and around the retaining wall, they're all choked with vines, and I can flip through the photos, you'll see it in the photos,
Yeah, I believe it.
but they're choked with vines, or they are white pines that are really leggy, that have really hit the end of their lifespan for a white pine. So I believe the intent is that's all got to get cleared out so they can even access the barn. And then obviously build the garage, but even back here along, it was just all thick. It was thick with briars and vines and just overgrowth. So that will get cleared out so that they can get to the barn, and then they will do some replanting. There was some discussion of some replanting just to soften it, but that garage then will act as a buffer to the existing home too, and kind of screen the two.
You know, one of the things about turning the garage is we're able to use the same turnaround, so we don't have to
Right.
extend. it.
Mm.
So
Yep.
we're just using it from a different angle too, I wanted to add.
Makes sense. Yeah, fascinating project. Thank you for the presentation.
I have one
Yeah,
question before
please.
we go on.
No, go-
Is this in the historic district?
No,
Ah,
it's not.
it isn't. I was gonna say, with all this investment in rehabbing and thoughtful,
Yeah, it's coming down. I think
was
number
gonna
one Mountain
say,
Spring Road and
talking
and
to-
729,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
FHS.
we've got a
building.
few, but
okay,
yeah, so the purple is our historic district layer. So there's a handful, but no,
one's in there.
no.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm just curious.
No, good question. Any other questions come up, commissioners?
No.
Good. All right, well, this is a public hearing. If there's anybody in the room that would like to speak for or in opposition? Not too many folks left. Shane, you want to check online?
Sure, I'll check online and then we'll go to the written
I
correspondence.
was
If
going to remind you about that.
if anyone's called in to offer comment for 37 Mountain Spring Road, please raise your hand using the feature in Zoom and you will be acknowledged to address the commission. There is a hand raised. Jim, if you
Yes,
could identify, yourself. Yeah, if
Yes,
you
my
could
name is-
identify your,
yeah, absolutely.
And
My
then-
name is Jim Panito. I live at 35 Mountain Spring. I'm the house behind, my wife and I. So If you go to the sketch or the drawing where the barn location is,
Sure, yeah.
that stone wall is actually a retaining wall. That stone wall, the barn, I'm sorry, the garage would be on top of.
Correct.
And it's about a 4 or 5 feet elevation change between the driveway and that land. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is we get, and you can see the elevation changes in the sketch. And we lived in this house for about 5 years. Also, I believe a Jack Kemper design house, and we love it. The water comes down the driveway, and there's actually a wetland in that picture. You can see it in the satellite picture, and there's a lot of water comes down that driveway today, and it goes into that wetland. See that brownish area in the back of my lot? Like that's all that connected, Farmington land. You know, you have your post there. That's kind of not quite of a wetland. It's kind of like a drainage area. And so my question is, the barn drawing that was attached today didn't really show how that backland would be contoured. And my concern would be if that's a 4 or 5 feet elevation change, because I can stand to the wall, it's at least eye level to me, almost eye level to me. Is the water, I'm concerned that the water, if not graded properly, would go back, straight back off, perpendicular off that wall towards a part of my parking lot and driveway that I wouldn't want, because the water, it just can overwhelm us. And coming off that long driveway, and it goes nicely into the wetlands. I'm concerned that if you raise and you grade it incorrectly, the water could come in towards the parking lot and not towards the corner where I believe it was designed to when the house was first built, if that makes any sense.
Sure, and if I may, and certainly Jack, you can chime in, and that's what Mr. Kemper made reference to, was that we had this early morning epiphany about the height of the
Yes.
building. There's going to be an extra deep foundation. The back wall of the building is now going to be the retaining wall. So there is no additional fill is going to be coming in. The existing retaining wall, the stone wall will come out, and then the back wall of the garage, the new
So-
garage will be the retaining wall. And then the floor of the garage will match the existing grade, so there'll be no.
So there's
grade
no
change.
back, there's no grade, excuse me, there's no grade in the back.
Correct. So there's no, there'll be, I mean, obviously, in order to get the wall in and then, and do the construction, there'll be some minor grading, but they are not filling to bring that whole thing up to grade,
And-
create that platform.
we
It's,
think
the
that-
back wall of the garage will be retaining wall.
And that exposed foundation on that back of that garage, I didn't quite see it in that drawing. Is there a
So
limit to what that would be?
it's just, I think it's just there. It's,
No, I guess my
it-
question, is there a zoning limit to how that concrete would be?
so it's about 1.5 feet on the north corner and about 3.5 feet of exposed wall on the south corner. So my guess is they can put some plantings or perhaps use some of the stone for a faux stone facade, so that it's not just a blank concrete wall. Mr. Kemper's moving to the back to the microphone to address that element.
Hey, Jim, Jack Kemper again. Yeah, we'd be happy to talk with you guys, to have Bruce Daigle, the contractor, or whatever, and just make sure the drainage is done. But the intent is, as Shannon said, is that the garage becomes the retaining wall.
Understand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or concerns?
The only other question I would have, and it's not really a question, that old barn, we've been watching it deteriorate sadly for 5 years or so. The foundation is also in very tough shape. We were friends with the prior residents, and I would be surprised you're able to retain that foundation. It is in very tough shape. And I think what I heard though, if you had to reinforce that foundation with a cement. You do it inside. It wouldn't be outside, it'd be inside if I heard that correctly on the new barn rebuild.
Yep, Jack's coming back up too.
You can
Alright.
stay up there, Mr.
I'm obsessed with steps these days, Jim, so you're helping me. I appreciate it. Yeah, the intention is it stays, the outside stays the same in any concrete. And you're right. I think it's a pretty good prediction that it will be remodeled, the foundation, but the exterior of the foundation would stay the same.
Okay, understand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, if anyone else is called in to offer comment for 37 Mountain Spring Road, please raise your hand using the feature in Zoom and you'll be acknowledged to address the commission. All right, Mr. Chair, there are no other hands raised.
Any other questions?
Oh,
Commissioner? Oh,
public comment, the written comment.
we were gonna miss it, see?
I know, I got caught up.
This is what happened.
This is what happened. So I got caught up. So we have two pieces of written comment. One for our town historian, Lisa Johnson, indicating, provided information on the history of the property for us and acknowledged the intent to rebuild the barn and was in support of the disassemblage and reuse of those materials, and acknowledge that it's the best way to preserve and reuse the structure. And Ms. Johnson makes reference to the meeting that we had. The architect was, Mr. Kemper was kind enough to accommodate a meeting for our town historian so we could see and understand everything in person. So, and then the other letter that we received or email is from Pat Mazzozzi. Don't know if a resident or where they live, but they're in support of the application for the special permit. I don't have any information on Mr. or Mrs. Mazzozzi. So that's all I have, but that was entered into the record. It was shared with the commission. It was shared with the applicant, and it's been posted on the website. So,
Thank you.
Lisa, anything else you need to share? Or you're good. No. Okay, so that's it. That's all the written comment, and there's still no other hands raised. So I'm assuming we're set to proceed.
Okay. One more check questions, commissioners. Good. Good. Any reason to keep the hearing open? Good. All right, I'm going to close the public hearing. Motion in a second, please.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the application for special permit and site plan approval made by Jack Kemper for a new 1,092 square foot 4-car garage and special permit for the consideration for the protection of historic factors at 37 Mountain Spring Road in an R80 zone.
Second.
Any discussion necessary? Thanks. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Best of luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Fascinating project. Best of luck.
We just have to get an open house or something. so we can come and see.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Lance.
All right, I've got just a few things for you. If you want to grab your phone, if you've fulfilled your government and law obligations, you're welcome to. We're finished
That's
with
what
the,
you were here.
we're
We
finished with
kind
the
of thought
podium, so
so.
you're set. You're free to grab your phone and head out. Have a good evening, fellas.
Meeting was much better than I thought it would be.
I told you.
Tried really hard when we saw you guys come.
You kind of kept it down and dirty, and you guys get points for not waiting until the last week of the semester to do this.
It'll get very busy.
It'll look at packed meetings. for a couple months.
Yeah, we're actually missing.
Unless somebody's absent.
Right. A couple people online, couple people in. Yeah.
Yeah. for the Plan and Zoning Commission, it's different for, like, if you come to a Wetlands Commission or a Historic District Commission, there's different people that are appointed or elected to each of the commissions. Commission. So that's a whole different commission. Yep. Yeah.
A lot
So
of
there's-
stuff will go to those commissions before it gets here.
Yep.
Particularly.
This board is elected.
So we all run for office.
So this board's elected and our zoning board of appeals is elected. So you can actually see you can see everybody that's running is on the town website. If you go to the town website in the clerk's office, it's got all the information on the candidates, and you can find information on elections. And the other commissions, wetlands, the 2 historic commissions are appointed by the town council. So, all right.
Someone might be coming to knock on your door
Right?
to talk to you about elections coming up.
There you go. There you go. All right. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Have a good night, guys.
Okay, a few other things for you folks this evening. You don't get to leave yet. I've got you for another few minutes. Bruno's Cafe, their request for cars and coffee has been withdrawn.
Oh.
They realized, like I did when I went through Unionville yesterday morning at 10:15, it is jam packed with our flag football going on at Union School.
Oh, yes.
And
About that.
there is not a spare parking spot,
Yep.
and there won't be until flag football season has
Oh, I didn't think
finished.
about that.
So before I could even email them this morning, I got an email from them saying, we're gonna have to withdraw and reconsider because it's too busy at the moment. And I said, oh, good, very good. You beat me to it, so just as well. So it brings me right in then to our next item, CROG, the Let's Talk About Housing update. I did go to the September 24th meeting. It was more of a work session. There wasn't, so this is the presentation. Goman and York ran through it probably in about these, 42 slides in about 5 minutes at the end of the presentation. It was a work session. They had us sitting in tables, and it was a conversation and kind of a free form thought of, what do you think about when someone says the term housing? What do you think about when someone says the term affordable housing? What do you think about when someone says the term home or neighborhood, and how those have different connotations? And so it was pros and cons of those terms and kind of a free form discussion on that. And then there were conceptual plans, faux conceptual plans for Anywhere, Connecticut, of a 30 acre lot. I'm trying to remember because we had to hand them back in. But the group was divided in half. Half the group had conceptual plans 1 through 5, and the other half had 5 through 9, increasing density. So the first concept plan was all a traditional single family home layout. And then it was duplexes, and then it was multifamily it was just, again, varying density up like 50 lots, 50 single family homes up to, I don't say 350 multifamily total housing units. Some of the conceptual plans were mixed. And again, having us evaluate them and say, okay, based on access and drainage, et cetera, what would each group pick as their top choice and why or why not, and their bottom choice, why or why not? My understanding, Goman and York is teamed and contracted with CROG. I think they said for 18 months, kind of looking at housing globally and helping, because we also have the affordable housing plan has to be updated next spring, summer. So helping towns with tools for updating their affordable housing plan Farmington did theirs early. We were probably on the front end of getting our affordable housing plan done. So we're now on the end of having to redo it because it's on a 5-year cycle. So we'll use some of this information to help with that. But this was part of his presentation, but Don Poland ran through it very, very quickly. I breezed through it a little bit this evening, stopping at a couple of things. I had a few minutes prior to the meeting to look at it. But there's this item, and then there's a housing typology website. So I'm not sure if you've had a chance to click on that, but that link is active, right? Let's see if this will go for me from the agenda from here. Oh, look at that. And it goes right to the CROG website about visualizing housing types in the region. And basically, what does it look like for a 2 to 3 family, or a 4 to 6 family, or a 7 to 10 family? And these are all different types of housing that's in, so this is Whitney Street, these are Hartford, this is Canton. So these are actual developments within our communities, within the CROG communities. So it's not from California or Texas or New Jersey. These are right within our own area. So the 7 to 10 unit, they could use more. They wanted, I mentioned our new Brandon Ave development. They're going to take a look at it once it's completed construction. They're more interested in something that has more of a street front presence. But nonetheless, they're going to take a look at it. And if they think they can make it work, then they will use that. So, but these are some of the examples of what it can look like and what those different densities look like. So again, something for us for a reference that's close and local and a little more meaningful for us. So, and when it did that, I lost my agenda review. So, and then there were a handful of other other documents that have come in from CROG that I posted to the website. So they're there. There's, that's the presentation. This is another document. So innovative housing construction. So these are all, they're again, just resources for us to have as we're reviewing housing projects and as we start to look at the affordable housing plan next year. So that was the extent of that. I have 2 more items for you that popped today. The first one. Yeah, of course. Yeah, sorry.
Did they take into consideration the look? Like, does it blend in, or was it just, this is what they're looking to do?
I'm sorry, I don't understand what your question.
Like, so the 7 to 10 unit housing,
Correct.
it was a very flat front, that's not gonna blend in very well in certain spots in town. Were they considering that, or was it just,
No,
you
they
guys
were-
should consider this, put it in?
No, it was just, this is what's, this one you're talking about?
Or the one below it, or like,
This is just, these are actually built.
right, I
These
know
are
that, I
built,
know
so these are just, again, CROG's just done the research to say, hey, this is, if you're trying to understand, what your options are for a 2 to 3 family, here you
Okay.
go. Here's an option. If you're trying to understand what you could do, what it might look like for
Like
a
a
10,
resource.
a
Okay.
10 family unit, this is what it could look like. And this is where you can go see it, and this is where it's done in our larger, when I say community, our CROG community, right? Again, as opposed to pulling something from Texas or wherever.
Right.
So that's all.
The only
So
reason
it's-
I'm asking is because I know there was that push, and I don't know where it stands right now. I think they're still talking about it, about, getting rid of planning and zonings in towns and making it more of a statewide thing. And is it something that, that's where this is coming from, or is it just?
No,
just a
this is
resource
coming
of-
from, this is like, hey, one, it's a little, I think a little bit from this at the state level saying, hey, we're trying to figure out how to get more housing. But I think it's also CROG hearing from its member communities that we're getting all these we're getting these applications in. How do we, and we're being taxed, that affordable housing plan has to be updated. So now CROG now has jumped in and said, okay, how can we help? How can we help our communities figure
Meet
out
those
what's best
needs.
for their community?
Gotcha.
Understanding they cover from Hebron or Marlboro all the way to Farmington. Like there's huge differences,
right.
right? In demographics and
Right.
typologies and all sorts of things. So they're trying to figure out how do we get some information out that's readily accessible and can be synthesized for individual community uses. So that's where my understanding, that's where this is coming from. They're trying to figure out how do we help the individual communities manage the application, the demands that are coming in at them from an application standpoint, the demands that are coming from a state standpoint saying affordable housing, hit percentages, hit the whatever. So my understanding is this is just truly coming to us from hey, here's a tool, here's another tool. And Heidi Somaker at CROG is the one that's been providing, she seems to be the one that's kind of spearheading the efforts from a housing standpoint. Some of the other planners are certainly intermixed, but most of the housing emails are coming from Heidi. So yeah, I think it's truly just from a reference. It's not here, you have to do it this way. It's just, hey, you've asked because, what can this look like, right? And we get these AI generated things from other individuals and we're like, okay, I really don't want an AI generated condo, right? What
So
can
now
it,
she's
what can
giving
it
you
look
real
like and
life
how does it
drive-by
fit
and take
into
a
a
look at it.
community and how does it fit into a neighborhood? Does it look like it fits in or it doesn't?
Right.
So,
Yeah,
yep.
that's my point exactly. Okay.
Are we able to, as a town, take some of this and like come up with regulations or come up with things that we can abide by as a council to keep our town from being invaded by these developers that want to build these enormous facilities like they have on Route 10 in Simsbury?
That's exactly what I was
That's my
thinking
question.
of.
We can't break rules and we
Exactly
can't bring our
what I was
opinion
thinking
to
of.
this council. Obviously, we just have to abide by the rules, right? But can we set up as a town, can we set up rules so that we can fill the town with affordable housing, but we can make them the 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 unit homes? Because the example here of the Ridge at Talcott Mountain in Simsbury, it looks like a very nice little building.
But
But there's about 20 of them.
I was gonna say it's one.
Right.
There's about 20 of
Right.
them. So you take the
It
hike
doesn't
along the
match
ridge
our
and you look
look.
down and there's a city of those buildings and it's an eyesore. That's my opinion.
Mhm.
So like, how do we as a town keep,
So
from
so
happening?
part of that is through,
like, how do we do that?
so if again,
Legally.
if it's an 8-30, we're back to if it's an 8-30G application, there's limited ability to deny, right? So there's the ability to negotiate and have a conversation. To a certain extent, the affordable housing needs a certain density in order to make the math work.
Mhm.
Plain and simple. And that'll go back to the presentation that is discussed, which it's posted on the website, and all the affordable stuff I'm just leaving on the website. So under planners report, there's lands created in affordable housing and all this stuff's just under there. And it's just gonna stay so that it's available at any point when folks want to look at it. Somewhere in here talks about, I'm not gonna find it. Somewhere in here, there's the conversation about in order to get the affordable housing, you need to have, from a cost standpoint, it has to be subsidized. It has to be subsidized. There is no feasible way for a developer to come in and do truly affordable housing without having some type of government assistance involved. And so it goes through. I'll find it and I'll send it to you guys later, rather than scrolling randomly through 40 slides. But and there's varying affordability, and there's varying ways for the assistance to come through. And at some point, again, that density is needed in order to make the deal work. And at the end of the day, it's a real estate deal.
Yeah.
Regardless. So you've got land costs, engineering costs, architect costs, et cetera, and your construction costs. And then you got to be able to manage it, because most of these are rental properties. Some of them are for sale, but most are rental. So at the end of the day, it's got to pencil out from a real estate standpoint. And so it is possible to do some lower density or have it look lower density, but they are going to be a community type structure, because you need some type of critical mass in order, and that's all of a lot of our developments ultimately have the Snowberry Cobble has a critical mass to it. Our existing affordable, so up our Hunter's Ridge, our Westwoods there's a critical mass to it in order to get the affordability to work. Cornerstone has a critical mass, and that's worked into the Brentwood neighborhood right off of Judson Lane near Westwood School. So they all have a critical mass to them. It's just, what do you want that to look like? And there's different ways to do it. But at some point, yeah, there's a critical mass to get there. And so the 8-30G, you've got some negotiation with the applicant to get yourself there. Outside of 8-30G, then it's our zoning regulations. So some of the things that have been before, so like the property that's on the Farmington River, they've made that request, but it needs a POCD text amendment, which ultimately would also require a town council to say okay to the POCD text amendment. And then it comes back to this board to okay it. Then it needs a zone change and a text amendment. So you have pretty much full discretion over that.
So we can kind of, and very legally, we can choose which
Correct.
parts of town get rezoned as affordable housing areas.
And not even just housing.
Yep.
So just housing. So if it's zoned R80, our R80 zone has a requirement that it's a 2-acre lot, 80,000 square feet.
Yep.
Someone can't come in. So when you do a zone change, it's a legislative action by the commission. You have sole discretion. And we're going to do in January. For those that are going to be returning, we will do I've got Bob DiCrescenzo. I've got to get him teed up, but are going to do another land use education with our town attorney, and he will walk through all these, what you have discretion on and what you do not have discretion on.
Cool.
And so there's going to be a step-by-step on all of that with a PowerPoint and slides, et cetera. So, but that will really lock in where the discretion is for this commission. And there is, when there's a text amendment and a zone change, things of that nature, POCD change, full discretion. Full discretion. Okay, does that help?
A lot.
Okay.
Did our friends from Minnesota or wherever, have they gone away forever, or?
I don't know specifically. I don't know specifically. I would assume not. But what I did explain to them is our timing, our community timing of our current events, and that it probably you're going to start something and not be able to finish something and have a change in January and have to start over. So whether or not they choose to restart in 2026, I don't know, but I believe it should be quiet between now and 2026 with respect to that property.
Given that it appeared they had invested time, money, effort.
Mhm.
So I don't think they'd be walking away from it completely. My limited business scope.
I understand.
I'm just curious.
No, that's the best. So I've been very clear because there's been obviously some applications are more complex than others. Right? So some of them that I know that this commission, it's straightforward, like this evening, go right ahead. Let's get you in, let's get you done. We've got one meeting in November, one in December, let's go. There are others that are more complex that I've advised them to not, like, let's get everything done, have your staff meetings, let's try to make sure you're zoning compliant, we'll work through drainage, but apply for December acceptance, and we're going to put you on the second meeting in January because our first meeting is going to be our administrative meeting and have Bob DiCrescenzo in. So I have purposely been trying to push. Some individuals listen better than others. So
Understood.
I do what I can. So, okay. Any other questions, housing related? Okay, I got two more for you. This one, I'm gonna pretty sure. So 784 Farmington Avenue is the building that is behind Chase Bank. It's the building that got relocated. So now the 784 is there. That's always been there. And now he has to add, because these were converted to apartments, he's adding a 1 and a 2 because they need it for emergency identification. I'm going to assume nobody cares about a 1 and a 2 being added.
They look like.
Right? They look good.
The font. I said, to me, I already emailed Robert. I'm like, they look a little big, but I don't care. So they got to be seen from the street. It's white and black. I didn't care. All right.
Makes sense.
I got the same. That's what I thought we were gonna get. And then this one, it doesn't look like I dropped the items in, but should be pretty easy. Green tea is no longer green tea. It's vacant and
It's what? Oh, it's vacant.
vacant.
Yes.
The building's there.
Right.
Here we go.
Husband and wife working.
So the owner of the property is he's gonna start doing some facelifts to the property. One of them is new lighting. So apparently to the best we can determine, going back through aerial maps, there's at least 6 light stanchions that have been hit through the course of the last 15 years and never replaced.
A lot of sake.
Because I'm not, so
Yes.
anyway. Well, snow plows, delivery trucks, and bring it up to LED, right? So all new poles, LED, 15-foot height, downcast. We're going through all the photometrics. I had the owner in because I had a photometrics lighting plan come in for building permit, and then I had an architect emailing me on questions, and I went, let's chat, please. So we had him in, chatted today. We were able to determine that all the poles really had been there for the most part at some point. So he wants to get those back in. And then the pergola, I call it a pergola, the trellis that's on the front of the building. They were going to take that off. My suggestion was take it off and leave it off. Don't put anything back and just reface the building. They think they want to extend a roof line so that there's some cover as you come into the front entrance of the building. So I said, okay, fine. That's really cosmetic. There's no change in impervious coverage. It's all sidewalk and hardscape underneath. There's some stone. It's a stone landscape bed that they might try to get some grasses, ornamental grasses or something in, or maybe some planters for seasonal plants and whatnot. So with all that, understanding that I'm on them about, it's got to be downcast light. There's 4,000 K color temperature, our usual, but there's nothing new I was gonna handle this administratively, through the building permit process, obviously. So all these things will go through with the building permit, but as I told him, no new seating, no additional seating, but he's just at this point trying to get some renovations done so it can even be remarketed at this particular point, because right now it's not really in a condition to be leased for somebody to move right in. So, okay.
Internal renovations also.
I think he's gonna do some. I think they have to, but he's talking new siding. Yeah, new siding, fixing that roof pergola thing in some way, the lighting. And then ultimately, probably a year or two, do the parking lot. So whether it's coated or a mill and repave.
Is that the building that has the covered parking?
It does, yes, there's,
That's a part one.
so it had been, which I hadn't known,
It's so weird.
Garrett did, it had been a car dealership.
Okay.
Way back. Yeah. Oh, right. And then it makes
Now
sense.
it all makes sense.
It had been a car dealer, apparently a Mercedes dealership at some point way back in the day. So they had put the, open carport up for some of the higher end cars apparently. So, yes. All right. So that's great. I saw all the head nods. We'll just continue at an administrative, route then. Okay, that's all I have for you this evening for planners report stuff.
Wow. Have anything for Shannon? Should we go back and argue about those numbers?
No numbers.
Do a little 6-7.
Right. Anything for Shannon?
Don't even go there.
What is that?
I'm never gonna go. Don't go. Tired.
I knew you'd catch it.
So fed up.
These are big birds and bees, the cars, the big vehicles,
I'm sorry, say that again?
the big vehicles.
The car parking, truck parking.
Oh, the commercial vehicle regulation
Yeah.
will be, the public
Next meeting.
hearing is the next meeting, so October 27th. So the notice, yep. Yep. I've had a few people chatting with me about it, so. Yep, which is fine.
Yeah.
So we've, fielded questions and comments, and we'll go from there. So. Bruce, your email I know went to the commission. I'll probably just add that as a, like a public whatever comment so that it's available and.
I saw a perfect example today as to why we have to have that regulation. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
driving down the street and there was a big commercial truck and a big commercial trailer. I think it was for ice cream or something, just parked in somebody's front,
Okay.
just like. Which,
Sure.
like, I get it.
Start seeing stuff in town differently now.
You do, you start, so I'm like, well, if that was my
It
neighborhood,
doesn't go away.
I'd be on the phone with.
Shannon with her open signs.
Well, Shannon
Right.
especially, yeah.
Flashing neon.
There's all sorts of stuff.
Like, it wouldn't fit in the driveway, but it fits diagonal across the front.
Has that been going well, the flashing signs, or are you still breaking the rules?
No, I haven't. I come back
Good to
because
go
we
then, Mike.
got sidetracked with so many other things. So I've got to, we'll come back around to that.
Very excited about that.
Yes. Yeah, we'll come back around to it. That and we came out of the dead of winter, so it wasn't bothering me as much. So now we got daylight savings coming up again and I'm gonna
It'll
lose
be
my
dark.
mind again. I'm gonna lose my mind again. over- Yes. So, all right.
Good to see something.
All right. Anything else?
Minutes.
All right. Motion is second for the minutes of the September 22nd meeting.
Sure.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes of the September 22nd. Approve, excuse me. Thank you. It says that word there. Approve the September 22nd, 2025 Town Planning and Zoning Commission meeting.
I'm gonna abstain because I wasn't here.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Bob Canto,
Nay. Yeah.
meeting adjourned.